Okay, let's all stand and pray. Good morning, class. Before we start our discussion, I will let you watch and sing a video about motivation song of our topic for today, titled The Food Web Song.
The food web is made up of a lot of food chains. It starts with the producers, plants, and algae. They produce glucose from the sun's energy, so eat it, just eat it. Primary consumers eat the plants and algae. They pass their energy to the next level. Secondary consumers eat the primary ones, so eat it, just eat it. Eat it, eat it. No one wants to be depleted. Don't go round hungry, eat what you can. Fulfill your niche in the food web, so eat it, just eat it. Eat it, just eat it. Tertiary consumers eat the secondary. They're mainly carnivores who only eat meat. They're predators who hunt hard for their prey, so eat it, just eat it. Decomposers are the last link in the food web. They break down dead decaying organisms. They recycle nutrients back into the dirt, so eat it. Eat all that you can, so eat it, eat it. No one wants to be depleted. Don't go round hungry, eat what you can. Fulfill your niche in the food web, so eat it, eat it. No one wants to be depleted. Don't go round hungry, eat what you can. Fulfill your niche in the food web, so eat it, just eat it. Eat it, just eat it. Eat it, eat it. Just eat it. Eat it, eat it. Just eat it.
Did you enjoy the song you sang, class? That's great that you all enjoyed. Okay, our topic for today is all about food chain, food web, and their trophic levels. Okay, class, what is a food chain? Everybody read. Very good. A food chain presents a unique connected path energy flow in an ecosystem, whereas a food web explains how food chains overlap. This means a food chain shows a single pathway from the producers of the consumers and how the energy flows in this pathway. Okay then, what is food web? Everybody read. That's right. A food web is a tool that illustrates the feeding relationship among species within a specific habitat. It is a connection of multiple food chains to show the interaction between different organisms in an ecosystem. This is the sample picture. Next is the trophic levels. Trophic levels refer to a level of feeding position that an organism occupies in the food chain or food web. There are 5 main trophic levels. First is the producers. Plants and algae are called producers. They create their own food and energy using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. This process called photosynthesis. Producers are at the bottom of the food chain and serves as the foundation for all food chains. Second is the primary consumers. The organisms which eat the producers are called primary consumers. The animals in this group is called herbivores. Herbivores are animals that get their energy and nutrients from a diet consisting exclusively of producers such as plants and algae. Some examples of primary consumers animals include sheep, cows, deer, horse, and some insects. These organisms occupy the second trophic level in the food chain. Third is the secondary consumers. Secondary consumers are organisms that feed on primary consumers. They are usually carnivores and occupy the third trophic level in the food chain. Fourth is the tertiary consumers. Tertiary consumers are at the very top of the food chain and often do not have any predators. They can be carnivores that feed on other carnivores or omnivores, organisms that eat other animals or plants. Last is the decomposers. Decomposers are the bacteria and fungi that break down dead and or decaying plant and animals matter into chemical nutrients like carbon and nitrogen that are released back into the soil, air, and water. This is consumed again by green plants. Example of decomposers include fungi, bacteria, earthworms, flies, and maggots. They occupy the very bottom of trophic level of the food chain. And this is the example class. What is food chain again, class? That's right. Food chain presents a unique connected path energy flow in an ecosystem, whereas a food web explains how food chains overlap. This means a food chain shows a single pathway from the producers of the consumers and how the energy flows in this pathway. What is food web? Very good. A food web is a tool that illustrates the feeding relationship among species within a specific habitat. It is a connection of multiple action between different interaction of organisms in an ecosystem. And last, there are how many trophic level, class? Anyone? Very good. There are 5 trophic levels. And what are those? Who can enumerate? Very good. That's right. The 5 trophic levels are the producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, and decomposers. Application. Okay, I will group you into 2. Group 1, construct a diagram of food web, and Group 2, construct a diagram of food chain. Next, evaluation. Directions. Read and understand the question very well and choose the right answer from the box. Number 1. These are organisms that feed on primary consumers. Second, these are bacteria and fungi that break down dead or decaying plants. Number 3. The examples of these are plants and algae. Number 4. These are at the very top of the food chain and often do not have any predators. Number 5. It presents a unique connected path of energy flow in an ecosystem. Number 6. These are organisms which eat the producers. And last, number 7, is a tool that illustrates the feeding relationship among species within a specific habitat. And last, assignment. Construct a diagram of food web and food chain. Very good. That's all for today, class. See you next week. Goodbye and God bless everyone.